Alright guys, we are back again for another Anime Vanguards tier list. This is going to be a complete tier list of update 4 as well as update 3.5. We did not do a tier list for the last update because it was a 0.5 update, but let me know if you guys want an update every single update or every single full update. So like update 1, update 2, update 3, update 4, update 5, so I can get all of the units into one tier list, or if you guys want one every 0.5 update, because I can do that as well. So let me know in the comments. But let's hop right into this. We got 12 new units for this update 4 and 63 units in total that we have to rank here, and I'm gonna go through this quick and easy for you guys and make this more of a general tier list. If you guys want a infinite leaderboard tier list, I can make one of those as well, make it as accurate as possible. But we're gonna head right into these Bleach characters. First, here we have yhwach. He is meta. He is an insane unit. So yhwach has this passive where he can toggle himself. He can lose 30% of his damage and then increase all of his allies in range by their damage and in range, or he can debuff all of the allies he has in range and buff himself 10% for every single ally. So before the nerf, he was doing upwards of 1.3 million damage. Now he's doing around 500-600k after the nerf. But you can do this strategy where you can just get a whole bunch of rare characters that have 4 or 5 placement and place it all around yhwach, and then toggle his passive, the Ash Fallen, and then just debuff all of them and then buff himself, and he's literally soloing everything. It's ridiculous. He is meta. Even after the nerf, he's still broken. He is ridiculous. Then we have Yamamoto. Yamamoto is meta as well. This guy is the best burn unit in the game. Literally, he's kind of like Aizen with his aura. If you walk into the range of Yamamoto, you're gonna start burning. And the closer you get, the more you burn. And whenever he defeats an enemy, he gets these skeletons, and those skeletons inflict burn damage as well. And then he gets damage for every burn unit in range, and then it's just ridiculous. Every single thing he does in his passive is burning you, and it's absolutely insane. Then we have Kenpachi. I want to put Kenpachi in Z or Z+. I'm gonna keep him in Z for now. When he attacks, every 2-3 attacks, I think, he stuns himself for 100% of his SPA. But as he stuns himself, he lets out a huge roar of AoE that damages every single enemy in range for 80% of his damage. So for 8 seconds. So while he's doing that, and he's slowing for 8 seconds by 30% as well. While he's doing that, while he's stunned, every single enemy in range is also slowed and taking AoE damage from his roar. So he's a pretty solid unit. You know, he has some setbacks, but he also has a lot of reward. It's a risk and reward character. We have Orihime, the newest support unit. If you place a unit that has 2,000 cost or less, they're free once every game. She makes them free. And then when you place her around a unit, she gives hairpins to them, and then they bounce after I don't know how many seconds, and then increases their damage by 15% every single time. It's actually like, she's ridiculous. She's such a unique support unit. I've never seen anything like this before. She's so good. Kisuke is the newest bleed unit. He does exactly what Alucard does, so they're just giving a more obtainable Alucard at this point. He wounds by 20%, and then he inflicts bleed damage of 25% of his damage. So he's a pretty good character. I don't know if I put him in Z or S. I'll keep him in Z for now. Uryu, look, I know you guys don't like Uryu. I get it, but to me, because he's one of my favorite units in this update, he's going in meta. He is my favorite unit. He essentially hits every single unit on the map. He hits every single unit on the map except for inside of his range. You can place him all the way back at spawn or at the end of spawn, and then he'll hit spawn. He'll hit the spawn point. He has infinite range. He's insane. I don't know why people don't like him. He's one of my favorite units in this update. Then we have Ichigo. Ichigo has a passive where if you lose your life stock, you gain 200% attack for 30 seconds, I think, or 40 seconds. So every time you lose a stock, he gains attack. It's pretty decent. I wouldn't say he's like the craziest unit. I'd maybe have to use him more, but he's definitely a decent unit. Yoruichi, she's Z plus. She has insane SPA. She stuns on every attack. She's immune to status ailments, and then her active skill allows her to just keep attacking over and over again, increasing her SPA by 30%. It's ridiculous. She has ridiculous SPA, and then she's reducing her SPA for herself, as well as stunning on every attack and doing more damage on enemies that are already stunned. Yeah, that's already, she's already busted. And then we have I forgot her name. Hold on, guys. How could I forget Giselle, man? Oh my god, Giselle is like a mini Sun Jinwoo. For every single enemy that she kills, every 5 attacks, or I think not even just her, like the whole team, she respawns every single one of them as zombies that have 30% of her HP. And I think she has this passive where for every kill she gets or something like that, increases their HP by up to 50%. It's ridiculous, man. Like they just went crazy with all of these units. They are all so good. All of these units are so good. She is Z plus. Aizen is meta. Aizen literally has aura. You walk into the range of him. Not even like you don't even need to be in his range. You're taking damage. You don't even need to be in Aizen's range. You're taking damage. And then when if for some whatever reason a unit hits your tower and reduces your stock, he's making everybody on the map walk backwards for 5 seconds. It's just busted units. And then we have the battle pass units. Bro, Lucy and David from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, she's doing multiple attacks every time he attacks, and she's supporting him, and then he's doing a whole bunch of damage, and it's crazy. They're both Z. I'm sorry I'm not going in depth into their passive. There's a lot of units that are on here, but it's just know that they are really good, and they don't have too complicated passives as well. They're pretty simple, so if you just go read them, Lucy and David are pretty good. They're up there. Then we have Gogeta from last update. He is obviously meta. Let me move Uri back here. He's my favorite unit. He's meta for me. Then we have S-Death. I would move her into meta as well. She's Z plus meta. She freezes everybody. She's insane. She's really good. Her active skill freezes everybody on the map in her range for 10 seconds, and she does 50% more damage to enemies, as well as giving a buff to your allies. She's pretty good. You have Sukuna. Sukuna got a recent buff, so now he's doing bleed damage on all of his attacks, as well as cleaving the enemies, making them take more damage from bleed. So he's essentially buffing himself and buffing his damage. So yeah, he's insane now. We have Sakura from the last update. I want to put her in Z because she directly buffs Saber Alter, who is Z plus. They both go together. Saber Alter can just be standalone. She corrupts your allies, and for every enemy in her range of her corruption area, she's gaining attack from it, and she gets up there. She's really good. We have Diavolo support. He makes everybody walk back and freezes time and yada. He was the first Vanguard unit in the game. He's pretty good. Akasa's butt. We have Alligator. He's also support. You can pair him up with Diavolo, so when Alligator slows, Diavolo will get his passive increase, so that's pretty good. You have Alucard, which is also a support unit. He bleeds and wounds and is a full AoE. We have Sakura. She's a support unit as well. She just cleanses you. She's not, you know, too crazy. She's just there. If you do want to do the Spider Force Demon Slayer stage, yeah, you probably need her. We have Archer. Archer is Z plus just because he directly buffs Gogeta. He is a blast unit. Gogeta is a blast unit, and he increases blast units damage by 50% or something like that with his active skill. He makes Gogeta, he wanks Gogeta. He wanks Gogeta a lot. He wanks Gogeta. Chain is down here, unfortunately. Oh, Choso is Z plus. Choso is one of the best bleed units in the game. I think he has the longest bleed duration on any unit in the game. If you want to go into an infinite or you want to go anywhere, you want to take Choso. Choso is one of the best bleed unit in the game. Julius, he is a support. He is a support unit. He freezes. I will put him in support. He freezes enemies. He's a decent CC, decent for CC. Lancer, I will put Lancer in Z. He is a he's not a bleed unit, but he stops regeneration completely. He's up there. I like him. He's a decent unit. So if you do want, I use him for tournament. He's pretty decent for tournaments and whatnot. He's okay. We have Dio also freezes time. We have a lot of CC units. There's a lot of, like, I don't know if I want to put him in support, because with Monarch he does like 100k. He's doing more than Egress at least. Egress fell off, guys. Egress fell off bad. But I'll put him in Z. Datara, I'll put him S. He's not terrible. He can do a lot of damage on his explosion. He's not terrible. Oh, Emmy is one of the best freeze units in the game. She extends your freeze duration, and there was this bug where you can infinitely freeze with her in Infinite. It was ridiculous. She's a great unit. Even after the rework, she's a great unit. We have Gojo. Gojo's down here in Z. He's not meta anymore. He's not Z plus. He fell down a couple ranks. His SPA is really his biggest problem. He's not doing as much DPS as he used to when on release, because everybody else is doing double his damage and attacking every 6 seconds. You know, it's yeah, Gojo, I'm gonna miss you, man. Gilgamesh is meta. He's one of the top units in this game. He is ridiculous. He's actually really good. He executes on his active skill. He's multi-hit. He just does everything. He has a cone AoE. He's buffing himself. He does everything basically. He's a really strong unit, and if you get Monarch on him, that'll be really good. Then we have Fubuki. Fubuki is really just there to decrease our SPA by 5%. She's a support unit, so she's just down here for now. We have Haruka Rin, another support unit, really good. Love her. She just increases your range. She increases your attack every 3% after every 3% for each wave pass. So she's buffing everybody, and she has insane range. You get marksman on her, you're set. We have Naruto and B. Please, mods, admins, devs, if you are watching this video, please buff Naruto, man. Like, please buff Naruto, please buff Naruto, please. He's one of my favorite units in the game, and I can't use him. All right, we have Okarun. Okarun's kind of bad. We have Queenie. Queenie's not as bad as these guys. We have Vegeta. Vegeta is in Z. Actually, I'll move him to S. He's not as good as he used to be, especially with all of these units. Like, look at this. Like, he's still a really good unit, but he's an S. He's an S. He's not bad at all. He's not bad at all, but he's an S. Ragnar, he's a pretty good unit. I'm gonna put him in Z, especially with Ethereal. He's worse. His worst trade is Monarch, so do not get Monarch on him. You have to sell him and replace him, or you can't sell him. You have to replace him multiple times to get his full passive up. And if you have Monarch, you can only place him one time, making his passive useless. So you don't want Monarch on this guy. But he also breaks CC because he freezes as well, and his freeze duration is not as long as everybody else's. You don't want to take it for infinite. But if you guys want to see an infinite leaderboard tier list, I can do that for you guys. We have Jogo. He's not crazy. He's a good burn unit. I'm not gonna lie, burn units are going up, especially with this Yamamoto. Rengoku, I'm moving him up to Z because he directly buffs this Yamamoto. And if you have this guy with this guy, it's gonna get spooky. It's gonna get spooky. And then you can place him for free with Orihime. It's gonna get spooky. It's gonna get really spooky. Saber, I'll put Saber in Z plus. I really like her. Actually, no. Saber is a meta. I like Saber. Saber is way better than Saber Alter. So looking at Z plus right now, I can put her in meta. I can put her in meta. Egress is an S. I'm so sorry for if you're like an Egress fanboy or fangirl. If Egress is your favorite character, I'm so sorry, but they have power crept him crazy. Egress is not as good as he used to be, which is fine because we got Rem and Ram have power crept Egress. They are essentially a better Egress. They're full AoE. They cost 20k less to max out, and they're doing a whole lot more damage to him, and they're critting in their passive. So yeah, Fanatical Frenzy, broken. Who else do we have? We have Obito. Obito's down here, man. Sasuke's a stun unit. He's a support. We have Toto. Toto is really good support, especially if you are a Sanjin Woo user in Infinite Leaderboard. You want to switch him out with Sanjin Woo. He's really just there to move Sanjin Woo to the back or move him to the front, etc. Sanjin Woo meta. Sanjin Woo is meta, especially in leaderboard tier lists. In leaderboard situations, he's meta. Sanjin Woo has been meta for forever now. I don't know why. Like, his summons, he's the only person in the game that has summons like that. Well, except for Giselle. Giselle has them too now, but he's still the OG. All right. Subaru is a support. He buffs everybody in range. He's not really a damage dealer. You don't want to use him for damage at all. We have Tangen. Tengen's damage has been power crept, but with the help of Archer, he becomes a ridiculous AoE unit in Infinite. He's really good. He buffs himself. He dodges attacks. He's doing everything. He's really good. He's full AoE. He's really good. Let's see, who else do we want to take here? Ishtar. She's a support unit for strictly Fate units. So if you have Fate units around her, I think Saber, Gilgamesh, she's buffing them directly. We have Toji. Toji is a shield breaker. I don't know if I want to put him in Z plus or Z. I'll put him in Z here. These, by the way, guys, these are not in order. Toji is a shield breaker. I think he's the only unit that ignores shields completely and ignores damage reduction. And I'm glad that he didn't get nerfed. He's still a really good unit, especially if you have Monarch on him. So yeah. Let's see. Psycho, she is a burn unit. I'm gonna put her in A. I don't think she's on the level of Egress and Vegeta. I'm tempted to move this guy down and move Sasori up here just because he's the puppet. He's the puppet guy. Yeah, I think I want to keep it like this. I do like Sasori better than Datara, but it's interchangeable. You can do whatever with that, honestly. Mimi, she's trash. Karem, no, this is Karem. Karem, I'm gonna put him in A as well. I haven't used him. I want to use him more, but from what I've seen, he can get up there for sure. He gets with Monarch, he's like 163k damage with his full passive up, but it doesn't last very long. And I think the only true value you would be getting from him is an infinite. When you can get that many enemies into his range that are burned, I'll probably put him in S with the addition of Yamamoto in the game, especially since if he's in the range and Yamamoto is just instantly burning all of the enemies, that triggers his passive. So I'll probably move him up. I'm pretty sure all the burn units are probably like really high now just because of the existence of Yamamoto. It's kind of crazy. Karem, I'll put him in A. No, I keep calling him Karem. Zion, I'll put him in A, just strictly because he's a burn unit. Johnny has a very unique passive, and I don't want to put him down here with these guys because he's a lot better than these guys. So I'll put him right here. Gyro's the same thing. I'll put him in S. Valentine is a interesting unit. I said she, I'm so sorry. Funny Valentine is a seeker unit. I kind of don't know where to put him amongst all of these guys, so I'll just put him in S along with Gyro. These are not ordered, by the way. These are not ordered at all, by the way. Medusa and Medea, those two have actually moved down pretty like significantly in the tier list. I will put Medusa in S. I'd put Medea in A, and I'd probably put Lilia in S as well because she is a decent unit. She is a decent unit. Yeah, this is the tier list. Aizen, yhwach, Yamamoto, Gogeta, Uryu because of me, Death, Gilgamesh, Saber, and Sanjin Woo in meta. Honestly, a lot of these guys in Z plus can go in meta as well. I would probably move Kisuke to Z plus because he's probably one of the only other bleed units that wound if you don't have Alucard. And I think wound stacks. I don't know, don't quote me on that, but I believe it does. Sakura, you can move her up there with Saber if you wanted to. Let's see, Ragnar, you could probably move him up to Z plus. Kenpachi, you can probably move him up to Z plus. Just, it's really based on your traits. These guys can probably, like, if you get Monarch on Kenpachi, he'd probably be in the meta category. But this is like, imagine all of these units had Blitz. So that's what I'm going off of. Okay, imagine if all of these units had Blitz. Well, that is the end of this tier list. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment what you think about this tier list, what you would change, what you'd move, who you'd put in certain tiers. Let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe. It helps me so much. It's your boy LorTomo. Peace.
Tomo. Haha. Wait.